Don't mind the noise in the market. It's the price of the fish or the university to come to get a better understanding. Hi, I'm Wentworth B. Manson, your prophetic professor, and I'm coming to you here from our university in the Bahamas. Not the other one, not the one in New Providence, but in Andrews here. And that you will see me, or you see the camera be moving. I'm on the outside doing this podcast at this time. And so I'm talking to you about our Caribbean pine forest here. And that's the biodiversity of plants that is grown here. And we'll be talking about a few of them, so I can give you a better understanding of our Caribbean pine trees. Now this particular species of trees you may see right here. I am behind the camera. This species of tree is called, we call it here in the Bahamas, we call it a silica tree. Now this has a close species to it, a different species of tree called a jumbe that has the same kind of pods. This one also grows, when it matures, this grows blossom, and then it has a little round little ball that it breaks apart like in a hairy form, and it produces seeds, little brown little seeds in pods. Look more like bean seeds. And this one here, and once the bean seeds are open, they're not like our bean seeds in terms of where you can eat a bean and pop it open, but it's a different type of bean. But this has various pods, and then when the pods grows on the pods normally be yellow. But this is a this tree you will find growing here in our Caribbean pine forest. Sometimes they have their own forest or their own ecosystem dealing with the coppice forest. Coppice are different types of trees will be found in the Caribbean pine trees kingdom, and it makes up the biodiversity of trees. But as you can see now, I'll move my camera and pawn, and sometimes words get mixed up. Yes. So now you can see here, we got also in this forest we got Caribbean pine trees, as you can see. Now the Caribbean pine trees, see me saying Caribbean pine trees. The Caribbean pine trees. The Caribbean pine trees here as you can see, they are dead. They're burned up. A fire came through in 2024. This is October of 2025 that I am in the autumn months doing research here. And as you see, the trees all are dead. Now, when you listen to the environmentalists and so forth talk about the Caribbean pine trees and the coppice trees, they will say that they would not think about the Caribbean pine trees. But the Caribbean pine trees and the Casuarina trees have a lot in common. They are family from the same kingdom called the Plantae kingdom, but they're not the same species of trees. They're the same species, but they come from the same kingdom. Now, all trees come from the same kingdom called Plantae kingdom. Because when they say Plantae, all go with water. All need water to survive. Now, the Caribbean pine trees live off fresh water. Of course, where they grows, they also grows with brackish water or highly alkaline. See that? Oh, let me stop. Pause. Catch yourself. Pause. Catch yourself. Alkalinity water. See, I couldn't get that out. Alkalinity water, which is basically fresh water and salt water mixed together. Of course, once it rains in the Caribbean pine forest, the fresh water will go down into the holes and will float on the salt water that is at the bottom. So you got fresh water and salt water. So it got more alkaline. And so here, now the Caribbean pine trees, as I said, will grow on the top in this because this is their forest. And this is more freshwater forest. But the water, if you dig or you get a cup and scoop up from the bottom, you get fresh mixed with salt. And then it break down the pH in the salt in the water because you got fresh water and salt water. So it make it much more softer. Now, if it is less salt, if it's less fresh water, or less if you go to the sea will be more highly alkaline, maybe 8.2 or higher. But normally where fresh water or natural water will be 7.0, normally fresh water, 7.0. Now, if you were swimming in the pool, like those who swim in the pool, normal range of water is 7.4 between between 7.4 and 7.6. So that is that range. But here again, back to this area now. So when we look at the Casuarina trees, it shows you that these are breaking down. The fire will come to burn them up, or burn them, and it will kill the bark. As you see, the bark is now being consumed. It's breaking down in the elements of the sun, and it's just falling apart. The needles and everything will fall down, and they will become fertilizer. And then when the next fire comes around again, because it's a cycle, it will burn it again. Now, for you all who like to live in the Caribbean pine forest or forest in general, you have to understand the environment. You just can't go live anywhere. You got to understand where burns. Now, if you're like in the Bahamas, if you live in the coppice areas, when I say coppice, more like these particular trees here, and other species of trees like poisonwood, gamalame, they normally are coppice trees. They call it broadleaf plants. It comes from an English word called broadleaf, but we call it in the Bahamas, we call it coppice. I mean, now the local people call it bush. We say we go in the bush, down in the bush. Yes, but here it is. So this is what this is all about. So the Caribbean pine trees and the Casuarina trees plays a very important part in the ecosystem. And as you can see, they're all dying. There was a fire was here, as I made mention, and they die out, and they contribute back. They will fall down and just drop. Now these pine trees have different names. They call it horsewood, horsetail, ironwood, beefwood, because of the color. And they originated from Australia, but they came here through migration from United States. When they came and they brought them that.